Good morning, and welcome to another Writer's Morning Commute with Ashton Gaskill. This past weekend, the Netflix series, Marvel Netflix series, The Punisher came out. I haven't finished the whole thing, but I'm 5 episodes in, I think, and I've been very impressed overall so far. Definitely feels like we're back at the top of the Marvel Netflix game. It feels more like Daredevil Season 1 and Jessica Jones than it does Iron Fist and Avengers. So, that's great. That makes me happy. I loved, the first 4 seasons up until Iron Fist of the Netflix stuff. And it's nice to have, I thought Defenders was okay, but it's nice to be back to really, really good television again. But Punisher did something that I thought was very interesting and very, good. And that is its use of smaller story arcs within a larger story. And once again, this is just so far what I've noticed. They seem to be doing a really good job. I've been talking about my outlining process. I've mentioned in those videos how a single, like when you look at a 3-act structure or a hero's journey, those kind of outlining strategies tend to outline a single story. But a good book has multiple stories in it. The main character has, the main story and then maybe a subplot or two. Your side characters might have their own plot lines going on. And each of those individual stories needs to be outlined. In addition to parallel stories like subplots, you also have consecutive storylines. So maybe, if you imagine your overall plot line is, let's look at Punisher, 13 episodes long, about the main character trying to get revenge on the people who screwed him over. The large plot line is actually made, though, of smaller stories. So, in the first 5 episodes of Punisher, the first episode is really self-contained. It shows us what Frank's been up to, catches us up, and puts us in his current situation. The kind of characteristic opening. Shows us who he is, what he does. It gives him a conflict, and he works to resolve that conflict, ultimately coming out victorious. So you have the whole system, a whole story, just in that one episode. However, that then ends with kind of a yes but no and situation, where does he save this kid who he likes from work? Yes, he saved him, but someone realized he was alive and found him. And that launches us into the next plot line. So the next consecutive plot line then lasts for 2 episodes, I believe. And that is Frank going against Micro. So you have this guy who knows Frank's alive and is kind of being mildly threatening, kind of mysterious. Frank doesn't know if he can trust this guy or not, or what's up. So you have this plotline of figuring out who he is and hunting him down and, bypassing his securities and so on and so forth. And then you have another yes but no and. Does Frank, figure out who this guy is and whether or not he's a threat? Yes, he figures out who he is. But that only leads to, him being open to this bigger mission, this bigger attempt to punish the people who, screwed him over. that storytelling structure, I think, works really well. You want those smaller individual stories. I try to treat each of my scenes as a full story cycle, ending with a yes but no and then those build my chapters, which I try to build my chapters such that they have a story cycle. So my chapters are built of individual scenes, but the chapter itself also has an overarching arc. And then I might have subsections of chapters that have their own arcs, and then those sections build the book. And then if you have a bigger series, you know, your books build a series. Anime does this more obviously. The idea of story arcs in anime is more accepted and typical. I have noticed we've started to do more of that in Western media as well. So hopefully that gives you something to think about. I think it's a really good way to build your stories. Thank you for writing with me today. I hope you have a great day.